on the rise. And don't tell me Muslim grooming gangs are responsible.
It's partly to do with Muslim grooming.
But what about the rest of them who are not being groomed and they're getting pregnant? Why do you think that is?
But the thing is,
why do you think that is? Do you think that is right for a teen to get pregnant before she reaches the age of 14, 12 even, and sometimes even less than that?
But you have just justified having sex with a girl when she's just hit puberty.
No, I said if she had the mind, the state of mind when she can get married. Because you see, and you see, look, that is not something that every Muslim desires to do. Most of the Muslims, even though the Muslims can marry more than one wife, many of them have only one wife. Even though it is legitimate in the Sharia law for them to get married to a girl who has reached puberty and has a state of mind where they can be married, even then they don't. Because you see, this is not something that is compulsory for the Muslims. At that time, there were other reasons, not just for marrying young girl. During the time of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, why do you think he married only one girl who was not either widowed or divorced? Most of the other women were actually of a much bigger age. They were not virgins. Yes. Now you tell me, if he was really a womanizer and if he was really after sex with children, then don't you think there would be more?
No, it's true though. It's a very valid point. You're talking about what we're talking about is social consensus, yeah? Social consensus changes, yeah?
Yes.
Over the course of time, like the age limit for marrying has gone up and up and up and up, yeah? Yeah, like now. But we're talking about, he's saying that you're double standards because Christian faith and Jewish faith.
By the way, in America, do you know in America, in many of these Christian groups, they have child marriages to this day because some of the states in America, they do not have a minimum age of marriage. So there are a lot of child marriages in America today.
Yeah, but
today, what are you going to do about it? I've never heard you actually condemn any of those Americans.
You condemn it.
Do I condemn it?
In America.
Yes, if it is illegal, then yes.
No, but in the Sharia, you don't condemn it.
Yes,
you support it.
Like I said, in a Sharia compliant country, wait, you know, this is what I'm trying to say. Why should they comply by your laws in another country? Do you comply?
If you accept the laws, if the Sharia law says 9 years old.
Okay, you know what? Do you condemn abortion? No, do you condemn abortion? A girl and a boy who are not even born, yes, he would actually say it's okay because in my country they allow you to murder these little children who are still in the belly of the mother. Would you condemn that? Are you going to answer that question?
You think it's okay to have sex?
Is it okay to kill? Is it okay to? I've already answered the question. Look, what are you doing now? You're repeating yourself. I've already answered the question very clearly. Yes. Now answer my question. Would you condemn abortion?
Well, I'm just rather sick of all the things. Sick of all the things.
Are you sick of abortion?
I'm sick.
Are you sick of abortion?
Abortion, I think, is okay in a very.
It's okay to kill children in the belly of the woman. Yes, that is okay. But a 9-year-old cannot get married if she's reached an age when she can actually get married.
In the early stages, yes.
What do you mean early stages?
Like in the first.
Why should a life be killed?
If it's a few cells.
Even if it's a few cells, doesn't matter. It has a potential of life.
It doesn't count.
It does count because that is life which you're killing and which you are now legitimizing as being it's okay to murder.
It hasn't got a conscience. It hasn't got any pain.
How do you know it doesn't have pain?
It hasn't got any pain sensors.
By the way, do you know up to what age they can actually abort?
I think it's probably quite late.
Like how? How many weeks?
I don't know exactly.
When the consciousness is developed.
When the consciousness has developed. Well, it should be before then.
Yes. So why do you think it is legitimate in this country and many Western countries to kill these children?
There has to be a time limit.
Why? It's a potential life. Why time limit? Why would you? Are you saying a baby doesn't have the right to life?
After a certain, when it's a very small amount.
No, even if it's a few cells, it has a potential of life. Is it not?
What do you know about Jesus?
Is it not? So what you're doing is now you're actually condoning murder.
Jesus was a man like you.
No,
yes, you are. You are just because you live in the 21st century when it has become a norm to accept this, you have actually now saying it's okay to kill these babies in the womb of their mothers.
4 cells is not a baby.
That's not the only time when you can abort. Okay, it's up to 12 and 13 and 14 weeks.
Is it going? Would it have been alive if you didn't kill it?
If you kept it going.
So can you kill? So if there were, hold on. So if there were 50,000 of these cells, you could just abort them, right? No problem.
It depends what.
Depends. Now it all depends. Now it all depends. When he's explaining.
It is black and white. It is black and white. It's murder. It's black and white murder, whether you like it or not. For you trying to justify killing children in the belly of the mother, yes, that is something that is only someone who doesn't have a heart will actually say it's okay.
Look how you're justifying it. It's just a few cells.
10 cells.
There you go. Look at.
What do you mean 10 cells?
He's telling you.
Are you? Have you ever? You know the reason he's saying 10 cells because he actually hasn't seen any abortion. Have you seen it? No. No wonder. The reason you haven't seen it is because it is horrific. And if I want you to educate yourself and go on YouTube and look at an abortion. You know these babies who are being aborted, they got these little fingers, they got little limbs and a head, which you can recognize as a baby. And you know what the doctors do? They plug them bits by bits. They stretch the limbs and they abort them, okay?
Well,
do you agree with that?
No, it should be before that stage.
No, it is actually at that stage.
I'm saying it should be before that stage.
Yeah, but what it is, so would you say it is illegal at that stage?
I have to.
I've told you the situation.
Stage, yes.
Do you think at that stage it should be illegal?
Probably.
Well, it's not. There you go. That's news for you. You know, you have read a lot about Islamophobic stuff from Islamophobic website. Go and look at your own history and learn about it sometimes.
The thing is, you haven't put me many things you've said here.
I've answered your questions. What more you want?
You've answered my question.
Good.
You don't like them.
I don't like the answers.
Same with you.
That's fine. I didn't. My answers are not here to entertain you. It is the truth. If you like it, accept.
About killing people, about invading countries. I don't like any of your answers.
You know, all of those.
I'm not going to get converted. Sorry.
All of those things you have said, your country does it.
No,
not true. It doesn't kill people in the war? Does it kill people in the war?
The thing is,
does it kill people in the war?
Yes, of course it does.
So don't tell me that it's only the Muslims, because that's what you're trying to imply.
No, I'm saying that you can start wars.
Exactly, the Bible is full of killings.
From the New Testament, love thy neighbor. That's it.
That's it? That's all there is. He ran away. He forgot the bit where Jesus comes back and kills all his enemies.
He's God.
Yes?
He's a judge. He's God.
He's God?
He can do what he likes.
Then why did he get killed? What kind of a God got killed?
He can do what he likes. Love thy neighbor, love thy enemies, pray for them. Don't cut off their heads.
So you're saying God can do what he likes. Well, Muslim God does what he likes. Simple as that. Okay, thank you. So you see, look, everything that you have condemned Islam of, you and your army have done it. Sorry, not you personally, but your army has done it as well. Killing women and children in the war and then not actually being held accountable for it is the worst thing that you can do. Yes, it's worse than child marriages, it's worse than anything else. Killing women and children indiscriminately from 1,000 miles away using weapons of mass destruction. Yes, why do you think all of these Western countries have nuclear weapons?
To protect us.
From whom? From other human beings. Yes, and if there is a chance they will use it against human beings, which you know very well will cause indiscriminate murder of all the people who are impacted by the nuclear weapons. Now wait a minute. Do you really think it's only the people who are at war with you who will die? Or it is all the innocent people who will die during a nuclear holocaust?
That would be terrible.
Exactly. Yeah. So why do you have these weapons of mass destruction?
Because other people have got them.
Yeah, there you go. That's your legitimacy. Yes? Do as other people do. I don't care about justice.
Pakistan have got them.
Yeah, it doesn't mean Pakistan is something that... Who did you get it from? From the West.
But you're always blaming the West.
No, but because it's the West who develops it. The weapons of mass destruction are developed by the West. Do you not understand that? Look, all this, for example, all the killing that happens in America, yes, the guns that are there, it is the West who basically manufactures them. And now you can buy guns in America as if a child can buy lollipops. Yes, it's so easy in America now to buy AR-15s. These are assault rifles which kids are using in schools. Within 2 months in this year, January and February, there have been so many, 18 or 19 school shootings. Yes, there was a 19-year-old guy who recently killed 17 or 18 people. Yes?
Yeah, I know.
Have you ever spoken out against all this atrocities? But what?
Islam is doing this all the time.
There you go. Everything has to be with Islam.
So you're talking about the West.
You know what? You as an Islamophobe have to change your intellect.
You're a Western folk.
I'm not. I'm living in the West.
Yeah, but
yes, I know there are many people in the West. Thank God you're of a minority. Those are the people I know who are Westerners. They are not like you Islamophobes. They are actually, you and your kind Robinson are actually in minority, and thank God for that. Every time they go to election, these guys lose. Whether it is in England or in Spain or in Italy, they lose all the elections over there because people know that the right wings and these Islamophobes, they have got nothing in the heart other than hatred. So you guys can go and cry if you want. It's up to you.
You're the one that hates us.
I don't hate you.
Yeah.
I hate the kind who hate other people.
You hate our government.
No, who said I hate your government? I said people like Tony Blair. Actually, you're the one who said I don't like Tony Blair. Yes? I said people like Tony Blair should be brought to account. There's nothing about hating them. What I'm saying is that if they have caused injustice and were responsible for indiscriminate killing, then they should be held accountable. Okay? You guys, I'm so glad that in the Western world, you guys are of a minority. You bunch of haters are actually looked down upon by your own kind, and you know that very well.
The thing is,
that's the reason no one elects for your right-wing parties all the time.
No, the reason is they don't know what Islam is. They don't understand it.
Okay, so what is Islam? You didn't know. I had to tell you many things. I had to tell you what iddah was. I had to tell you that it is different for a divorced woman, for a widow, and for a captive. I had to tell you that. Your misconceptions about Islam are basically because of your ignorance about Islam.
They're not. I told you the things that I believe.
No, you didn't. You told me half-truths. You told me half-truths.
No.
I asked you for evidence. You couldn't show any.
I've got lots of evidence.
For what?
All the things I've said. Sex slaves, child brides, 4 wives, 10 wives. All these things are horrible. If people,
wait. 4 wives are horrible? Let's see this. 4 wives are horrible for you, right?
Yeah.
What if the 4 wives agree to marry one man?
They don't always agree.
No, of course, if there's no agreement, there's no marriage in Islam. You see what I meant by ignorance?
No.
This is what it is. Because if a woman and a man do not agree to get married, then that marriage is null and void.
No,
wait a minute. If the 4 women agree to marry a man, is it okay by you? Let's discuss that disagreement later. Let's agree with the agreements first. So if the 4 women agree to marry one man, is that okay? Do the women have the right? Okay, so you're saying the women don't have the right to choose whom they want to get married to?
Yeah.
They don't have a right. No. Who are you to decide? So you're not just Islamophobes, you're also a sexist.
No.
Or rather,
no.
Yes, you are. You just took away the right of the woman who wants to get married to a particular person. Wait. First and foremost, who gave you the right to say that they don't have the right to marry whom they want?
Because I think it's...
You're an atheist, you don't even have a religion. So who gave you the right to condemn their marriage?
Because I think...
You think? Yeah, go on.
Well, first of all, the second wife...
What do you think?
I think the first wife should have a say in the second wife's. In Islam, you don't.
Where is the law for that?
In Islam, the second
No, where's the law for that? Who told you the first wife, or the second wife, or the third wife, or the fourth wife have to comply with the other co-wives for the man to get married? No. So if the husband wants to marry one wife and she agrees to the marriage, they are married. If the husband wants to get married to the second wife and this second wife agrees, then they can get married, and so on.
What about the first wife agreeing to the second marriage?
You know what? The first wife, sometimes she lives like a sister with the second wife. She does. The reason you're taking away the right of these women, by the way...
You've taken away the right of the first woman.
Can you, as a man, have multiple girlfriends?
I don't think it's right.
You don't think it's right? No. Do you think it happens?
It happens.
Do you think it's legal?
It's not right.
Do you think it's legal?
It's legal, but it's
good.
Not right.
So if it's legal, that means the government agrees with it.
No, they don't agree with it.
Well, it will be illegal otherwise.
It's morally wrong.
Morally wrong? Oh, you're teaching us morals now. An atheist. Where do you get your morals from?
Well, I don't know.
You don't know? You don't know? Let me ask you this.
Better place than you do.
Let me ask you this.
Child marriage, sex slaves,
let me ask you this.
Killing.
But you just took away the right of the women. Okay, let me...
Right, the first woman.
Let me ask you this. If two adults want to get married, yes, regardless of the gender, yes, is it okay?
Yeah,
if 2 adults, yes, they both consent to the marriage, yes, or they both consent to have sex even, forget about marriage, yes, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. If someone wants to sleep with their mother, is it okay? No? Which moral says no? The religious moral or your atheist moral?
The country's moral.
The country's moral. It's not illegal. In some countries, it's not illegal. No. All right. So which morals are you talking about?
I think
you don't have morals. You know that. As an atheist, you don't have objective morals. You make up your morals based on whatever is the fashion, whatever is in the country.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. So in this country, many people have multiple girlfriends. Or many girls have multiple boyfriends. Yes, it's not illegal. You agree?
Not illegal.
Okay, which means the government considers it not to be against the law, and they agree with it somehow.
Well, yeah, there's certain freedoms.
Yes.
But we work this out.
So if they can have the freedom to have multiple girlfriends, why can't these people have the right to get married? Yes? The same with the same right. Why are you using double standards that they can have multiple girlfriends, but they cannot have multiple wives?
Because I'm saying the first wife has no choice about the second and third marriages.
Why do you think she has? You know, the first wife has a right to divorce if she wants to. In Islam, we have the right to divorce by both men and women.
It's much harder for a woman.
How do you know it's harder? All she has to do is go to the Qadi. All she has to do is go to the Qadi. Really? So you know how it works. Go on, explain it to me. Let's see. He's shaking his head all the time. Explain to me.
Bring on the ratio of women and men in this country. Do you know it?
No, we will go there. That's another topic.
50-50.
Yeah.
50-50.
Yeah.
So tell me, how does
no rubbish.
How does a Muslim woman get divorced? Let's see if you know. Let's see if you know. How does a Muslim woman get divorced?
Woman outnumbers men.
It's very hard for her to get
How?
divorced. She has to prove things like lack of conjugal rights and things like that.
If the ratio is like
No, that's not the only grounds on which you can get divorced.
No, but she can't just say I wanted a divorce because my husband.
If it is as simple as this, there are certain rights of the wife. If the husband violates those rights, then she has a right to khula. The term for that is khula, which means she is a female instigated divorce. And this is something.
It's not granted.
Wait a minute. In the Bible, there is no right for the woman or the man to get divorced. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Yes? So at least Islam, 1400 years ago, gave the right for the man and the women to get divorced for a legitimate reason. There has to be a legitimate reason for both.
No, the man.
No, even men. You cannot just divorce someone and for a reason that is not legitimate. There has to be a legitimate
No, a
reason.
man can do it for any reason.
For any reason. Where do you learn that from?
Well, he just says talaq. If you have an argument.
There you go. You see, this is what happens when you go on hearsay. You haven't looked into this, have you? Just like the idda, you haven't looked into this. You cannot have talaq. There has to be an idda between each talaq.
Yeah.
Are you aware of that? So it's not talaq, like the way you misrepresented the right of the man.
He can do it for any reason.
No, not any reason. There has to be a legitimate reason.
No, he doesn't have to say anything.
Okay, anyway, since you don't know, I suggest you go and look it up. I suggest you go and look it up. Okay, we were talking about the right of the women to get married to a husband. Okay, first and foremost, if it is something which you consider as moral, which I know you have no grounds for morality, as an atheist.
I've got morals as the country's morals.
No, but the country's morals are not your morals, are they?
I'm part of deciding.
And many of the country's morals actually come from the Bible. So that's come from religion. They come from religion anyway.
Thank goodness we don't get them coming from Islam.
Thank goodness?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So we don't have child brides, sex slaves, and...
all of that is in the Bible. Have you read it? Have you read it?
No, but...
You didn't know that, did you?
But you agree with it then? You agree with it?
I just give you example of Jesus, his mother, getting married at the age of 12. Getting pregnant at the age of 12.
But you agree with it?
No, wait a minute. You said, thank God, not Islam.
Even outside religion, even in this country.
Yeah. Do you agree with it?
Pedophiles, I don't.
But it's in Islam, that's the trouble. It's in Islam.
But you agree with murder of child in the stomach of the mother.
And
you said few cells. When I told you ripping them limb by limb, he was okay with it.
No, I wasn't. I said no.
So would you what?
Sex slaves. Sorry, where is that? It's Sabiya. It's a well-known thing in Islam. It's in the Quran.
I just told you it's not sex slave. It's not the way you think.
It is sex slave.
Those people. We had a long discussion already on that.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that there are certain morals which you said, like abortion, you don't agree with. Yes. So don't tell me the morals of the country are your morals, because you said that already. Okay. So your morals are always going to be changing. It's going to be fluid. So it's based on your desires, isn't it? It's based on your desires. So when you feel like okay, it's okay, then you accept it. When you feel like it's not okay, so have you ever been wrong in your life?
Yeah, of course.
So how do you know these morals that you think are right today are not wrong actually?
But the thing is, how do you know? How are you so
Look,
sure?
at least I got the Sharia,
yes,
which is something that I can always, whether it's today, whether it was yesterday, or whether it is tomorrow, I have something to go back on to. You on the other hand, you will actually always fall for whatever is the law of the country. And you'll go by those morals. You'll see other people. So for example, if the law of the country says incest is okay, you will be okay with it as well. Maybe not today, maybe your progeny, at one time they will be actually groomed to a level where they say, yes, it's okay for mom and brother to sleep together. Yes? Do you think that is condemned today by you? Incest. Do you condemn incest? Yes, you do.
Yes.
Maybe tomorrow your children or that children might condone it.
Well, yeah, but
So why? So your morals are neither here nor there. So please do not lecture us on morals.
But your morals are terrible.
That's your point of view, and you're entitled to it. I've explained to you
What happens if your Sharia is wrong?
what happens.
Yeah.
You tell me, how is it wrong?
Then I've told you how I think it's
That
wrong.
is your opinion. That's all it is. And my opinion is that abortion is wrong,
but your opinion-
and something that happens legally in many of the Western countries. So you see, killing of defenseless children is perfectly okay based on your country's morals.
But you think having sex slaves is okay?
Like I said, you consider them as sex slaves. I do not consider. For me, that there is no marriage unless and until both the male and the female agree to it. Okay? And these people, like I said, what you're doing is you're bringing in 1400 years ago the law of that to today. Like I said, today most of the Muslims that I know, okay, they do not go looking for a bride who is basically very young. They marry someone of their own, around their own age, or someone just maybe a year or two, and this is a norm in most Muslim countries. And like I said, if you are going by something anachronistically, then you will see that many people today, they still have girlfriends, they still sleep around with women and discard them when they don't feel like anymore. And this used to happen 1400 years ago, 2000 years ago, and it's still happening today. And that, my friend, is not illegal. And you consider that as moral? Would you consider that as morals?
What?
Go have sex with a girl and then have one night stand with them and then discard them?
Well, no, but that's
Well, that happens, isn't it? That happens. And it's not illegal. So do not blame the Sharia when your own morals really are bad.
I'm talking about a 9-year-old girl that you think it's okay to have sex with.
I think you're obsessed with a 9-year-old. As an Islamophobe, I can understand that is always going to be on the top of your head. When you yourself I've never seen you raise a voice against the pedophiles who are not Muslims in this country. I've never seen you say. All I see is Muslim that, Muslim this, Muslim
I
that.
hate pedophiles.
You hate them?
Yeah.
Good. Have
All
you?
them.
Then say, do not keep saying just the Muslims. Because for me, I hate
But you're
pedophiles.
justifying it.
No, you consider that as pedophilia. I do not.
Exactly.
I'm talking about a marriage, not a pedophilia. There's a big difference.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Having sex with 9-year-old girls is having sex with
My
9-year-old
friend,
girls.
all you're obsessed is with sex.
You just told me, because you just told me.
I told you
it's
about a
okay.
marriage. The 9-year-old got married, my friend. Have you not realized that? Do you think these pedophiles marry their children? Do they?
But
No, they
You're
don't.
talking about having sex with 9-year-old
No,
girls.
you're talking about 1400 years
I'm saying
ago.
it's not right, and you're saying it's right. That's the difference.
No, the difference is one is a marriage, the other is abuse. Big difference.
Not a big difference.
It is.
No, it's not. They're
Okay,
both abuse.
which pedophile you know married the victim?
They're
No, which
both- they're
pedophile?
both-
Wait.
The thing is, I'm not justifying. You're justifying.
No, I'm not justifying.
I'm saying it's wrong. You're saying it's right.
You're saying it's pedophilia, I'm saying it's a marriage. Okay?
9-year-old girl.
Well, that's fine. Look, he ran away. That's fine. Because you see, at the end of the day, abortion is killing children who are just not even born yet. Okay, Jazakallah khairan. Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Where's the cameraman? They just ran away. Guys, get your cameras. Abdul Hamid. Your cameras. Okay.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Listen,
Naveed, your camera. Your camera.
So, any questions? Yeah, have you got the mic?
Yeah.